Liverpool.
Liverpool 5-2. Virgil getting another goal.
Ekitike. You were saying you want to talk about Ekitike
Bro, how many times?
Yeah, you want to talk about Ekitike this
Don't
week?
mute, bro.
Yeah, you want to talk about
Ekitike this week? What about him?
Did you see the performance?
Yeah, good goal. What do you mean? What, player of the year?
See the little assist?
What, player of the year?
Candidate.
No, he's not a candidate. He's not a candidate. It was a good point. Not player of the year candidate.
I just said talk about the performance and he wants to take
We're good.
Interest. Is Semenyo a candidate?
What, for player of the year?
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing it for 2 clubs. Yeah,
the Bournemouth campaign before he left, and now he's spearheading.
Yeah, he's not going to win it, but he'll be probably in the final 8.
This is the whole reason why I put Ekitike forward is there are no clear candidates.
No, but
this year they're talking about Declan Rice.
No, but Ekitike is not going to be in the final.
Haaland based off 3 months ago.
Ekitike is not a final 8 player though. He's not in the final 8.
Ekitike's been doing his thing, and that game there, the assist, the goal, the touch before the finish as well, then the little cute little assist as well. Bro, that's our footballer.
Yeah.
Do you know so funny?
You know what he is? He's the prime example of the players that you like.
Yeah,
you ain't got a score or assist.
I like Ekitike a lot.
And enjoy.
Yeah, I know. I like Ekitike, but I'm just saying he's not in the player of the year.
No,
I'm just saying he's not a player of the year, bro.
I like it.
I like Ekitike, bro.
Do you know what I find like? Because obviously, like when you're so focused on your, we obviously focus on the whole league. But we focus on our teams as well with interest. You see results, you're like, oh, Liverpool, that's great. You speak to Liverpool fans, they're still like, you know, the pingo thing.
Yeah, because they want to win the league, bro.
Because when it went, what was it, like 3-0 up in the first half, then they conceded one. I think every time they conceded, it was almost like a...
Yeah.
We conceded though, man. I mean, we was just about to go on a romp and have a good time, but instead we're conceding silly goals as well. The Castellano one was too easy.
The general consensus I get for them is like, they're still angry at Slot.
They should be.
Like, obviously, I don't know how. Again, those
Gakpo's
quotes
still
have not
starting. That's why.
Yeah, Gakpo's still starting. The whole real thing's weird to them.
Did you see the way Gakpo missed that sitter as well?
Yeah.
The whole stadium was.
Bro, why?
Get this brother.
Wait, Mo Salah, 10 goals, 10 games without a goal in the league.
You light my fire. You light my fire. I'm satisfied with you, girl. You light my fire.
You call game? I call game.
But it's fine. Outstanding.
Hey,
Girl, you knock me out. Damn.
Hey,
it's listen.
Actually,
it's been great. It's been great.
It's over.
Don't cry because it's ending. Be happy.
Smile because it happened.
Think where he was 12 months ago.
Nah, bro, player of the year.
Ballon d'Or contender.
Outstanding.
They were talking about, this is a generation.
I know, bro. He looked like he's been zapped. He's been zapped.
Bro, he used every last bit of his powers to give us that all-timer campaign last year. Because there's nothing left in those legs.
But the thing is that, is that so bad?
Yeah,
he doesn't shoot the same.
Everything looks mad, innit?
When he's touching it. Like, it was bubbly before, but now it's just janky. Now I'm like, yo, who is this? This is Abdul Salah. This is not Mohamed Salah. Bro, this has got to be a twin replacement.
This is who?
This is his, sometimes the body swap thing.
You get cloned, bro. You get cloned.
I don't know, him and his brother, something's happened.
You get cloned, bro.
Because we were like, nah, maybe second half of the season he's got something for us. Maybe
post AFCON.
Yeah.
Maybe he's going to do the opposite this time, Usually it's before AFCON, he kills it. After AFCON, it dies down a little bit.
First time.
I'm seeing Salah stands and hardcore fans being like...
Yeah, it was a good ride, innit?
Yeah. Guys, it might be over.
Yeah,
I'm seeing, the Rafa Benitez thing, the...
Bro.
People are like, yes.
It's over, it's over.
Father Time, we always say, Father Time waits for no man. Do you know what I mean?
And it can come and get you anytime.
I think they're winning and him not performing, good thing. They'll take a positive from that.
Yeah.
But I don't think at this stage now you can ignore it. It's been like 6 months, 7 months into the season. And Salah's not delivered anywhere close.
And they got big, and you got to consider as well, like the guy's making a lot of money in it. And
huge contract around
and they got Champions League to come up. If he's not going to do it in the Prem, then they got to hope he does it in the Champions League at
do you know
least.
what for me though is...
Galatasaray won't be easy,
Boy,
they already lost that.
What did they say in Istanbul? Welcome to hell.
Yeah, they've lost this season as well.
The thing that's a bit, not concerning, but obviously that big hoo-ha that happened was such a massive thing, and I don't think it derailed their campaign or whatever. But it's such a key moment in this milestone because like it's not like he was pulling up any trees and your performances didn't go up afterwards. So now like these guys are probably thinking like, we're resurrecting the feeling, we're in Tommy Hilfiger. They're just looking at him like, bro, like you're supposed to lead us to the promised land. Like, like grandpa, like kick rocks. Like, what's going on here? So
this is last year, man.
Yeah, I reckon so.
If Saudi
but the issue is, can you get market value based on the way it's
Nah, you're not going to get much. It's about the back door thing. It's out the back door.
It's Al Ittihad came last minute 60 mil. We're going to accept it.
I'll ask you guys a question. Like, based on if you were a player, would you have wanted to go out on that high?
He should have done that. I think last year he should have just
the perfect time to
I've
say
given
goodbye.
you my all. I'm leaving
Drogba
with
after
a
the Champions
title.
League.
I'm gone. Drogba, I always say Drogba, the way
did it
he
the right
left,
way.
he left like a king.
He came back,
and then he came back and left with the title.
They won the league.
With the whole crowd.
Yeah.
He did it twice. That's a smart man.
Yeah.
How you leave is very important.
It's important, isn't it?
And because it's how you're remembered.
Yeah.
Of course, listen, no one's ever going to forget what Salah's done. No one can ever discredit what Salah's done. But there is always going to be the remembrance of, hey, man.
If he gets out, but if he gets out now, obviously, that I think he'll still be. If he does another year,
like Ivanovic.
No, if he does like another year of this,
Ivanovic, great. But I will never forget those last year or two, bro, where I was like, yo, this guy was Superman 2 years ago, and now he was at West Brom at one point.
If he gets out now, I think he'll be fine. If he stays another season, and then it gets scary.
Because then he's going to be sitting on the bench.
Right, it'll just get scary, bro.
Slot will be justified in putting him on the bench. There will be no argument.
No, but your last memories are just going to be like...
going on bench?
It's like the Arsene Wenger thing. He's the perfect example of it, isn't it? Like, if Wenger had left in 2006,
it's a different thing.
We're talking about him as a... even if he just lost after the Champions League final, the Champions League final, and he just left... It would have been like, wow, they were going to Emirates after that.
Yeah.
Wow, Wenger would have been seen as a god.
Bro, that hero will live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
Exactly.
Right, it is what it is, man. Manchester City.
Hey. Good 1-0 win, in my opinion. I think I was more impressed with kind of how they defended the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I thought there was almost
like associated with them.
You always see the inevitable drop-off in the second half. And I think Pep even mentioned it in the presser afterwards. In that last 10, 15 minutes, bro, I can't lie. Mark Guehi and Antoine Semenyo, we've spoken about City recruitments and, you know, how they haven't got it right and they haven't always made signings. With those two, they have made the right signings. How impactful they have been since signing from January.
Semenyo's on 4 goals.
Semenyo, and now he's picking up like central positions as well, because at Bournemouth it was just a wide man cutting. His finishing ability is incredible. I can't lie to you, but now he's picking up those central positions. But Guehi, I think, has just added something similar like what Diaz did when he initially joined, or Laporte did when he kind of first joined. Just a level of consistency and quality that you just need at the back there. And I think him and Diaz as a partnership could become something. I know you spoke on Husanov last week, you had a good game as well. It's a good little unit they've got there. And I think City's defence has been a big concern all season long, especially in the second half, how it drops off. But that last 15 minutes or so, they had to batten down the hatches because Leeds, bro, fair play to them. They actually should have had 2 or 3 goals. If Calvert-Lewin put that chance away in the first half, there was another one he had later in the second half as well. They could have easily been 2-1 or 3-1 up or whatever, but City defended well, bro. And that, you've not been able to say that many times this season, I think. But Guehi and Semenyo, I think in terms of getting good signings through the door, they've got it right with those two. And I think that's what we always say with Prem-proven players. They don't skip a beat. They come in, immediate impact.
Well, you hope that.
And that's what, and that's massive. That could be the difference.
It could.
That literally could be the difference.
Semenyo's basically helped them chase down.
Yeah, he's scoring the goals. I mean, yesterday was always going to be tough, especially when you saw Erling Haaland just randomly. You heard that he was out of the squad, and you thought, ooh. But Semenyo popping up with a goal. You know what I mean? And what's his name? As you mentioned, with Guehi as well. Do you know what it is though? Like, that is what you want from Januaries. Because at the end of it, because they kind of what's the word? They resurrected, what they were doing. Because in the summer, they brought in Ait-Nouri, Cherki, Reinders. I think Reinders is
Trafford as well.
No, and Trafford non-existent. Ait-Nouri is only really getting going in the last couple of weeks, I would say. Semenyo, then you look at Cherki, I think he's been good this season, but Reinders has dropped off as well. You know, he started the season, we were saying signing of the season, and he's dropped up. It's been up and down. So they just kind of reacted. And look, we could be looking back at this. If they do win the league, we'll say it was won in January. You know what I mean? But hey, Cherki masterclass. Get used to it.
Cherki, the build up. I can't lie, that was quality.
They think that, Leeds away, they be saying those are the games that, he was struggling, he's not. Once Cherki gets a grip of the game,
The thing that I like about Turkey, though,
he's decisive.
Yeah.
He's decisive. He's making every
There's
action
intention behind everything. There's intention behind everything. And like, you know, when you have creative players, like, I get that the flair and the aura does stuff, but it has to be intentional. You can't just close your eyes and hope that it happens. Like,
that's what I thought he was going to be, though, when he first came. It was almost going to be like do you remember early Cristiano? Lots of tricks, lots of flicks, and lots of technical touches. And for me, he's very almost like, bro, he makes a right decision every time. That makes sense. It's always, how can I move this ball forward? How can we get the ball into danger areas? Who is in the most dangerous
And there's
area?
still times where you look at it and people are not reading his passes as well. There's still times where he just tries to, he starts slow, he just tries to up the tempo from nowhere, and it's like they don't react to it. But that was brilliant yesterday.
The thing that I like about him is, like, you know, like creative players, like, you know, that Hazard always told that, I just want to play the game and have fun. You can tell that Shirky is obsessed with, like, getting impact. Like, I want to get assists. I actually want to do shit. Like, I actually want to contribute, and that's why the passes are so intentional. But the Gay thing, the reason why I like that, the moment that's happening now, is because Gay's been a good defender for a long time. But you know, sometimes you have to get that move to validate it, and everyone goes, oh, maybe he is really good. Now everyone's finally talking about him, how he should have been spoken about. Like, he's not. The level's been the same as what it was at Palace. And he was leading that team.
I think he put the world on, or at least the people on notice in the Euros, innit? I think he had a really good Euros. And then everyone was like, oh, okay, this guy can step up. You know what I mean? I think Maguire did that in 2018 World Cup. It kind of felt like a moment like, oh, okay. So I think Gay, he's got that. He's got his move now, and
but
who's partnering Gay here at the World Cup? You know, who? It depends.
But that's the way his career has gone. Even if you look at kind of coming out from Chelsea, the academy, the loan to Championship, then he moves to a mid-table Premier League club, helps them win their first ever trophy,
becomes a captain,
becomes consistent captain. That's when you're meant to get that next big move. And now he's taken to that like duck water, to international duck to water.
I'm even seeing him.
That's what good players do.
I'm seeing him on IG put City Life, and I'm seeing photo dump. I said, this ain't you. Man said, now that big team, I got to
elevate it.
Can't be just football. I got to work on PR.
He saw Ruben Diaz's dunks and he said, yo,
so I got
to work on PR. Jam in there. I'm going to get a little something about it.
I need brand sponsorships. I got to do selfie in coffee shop. I said, this ain't you. Fair play. I respect it. Man Mountain says, speaking of meaty Leeds fans, that was disgusting. That was disgusting.
Pussios.
Duddery of the century.
No, I don't care. I know we're not supposed to swear. Pussios. Yeah? What you want to boo for? Players can't take 2-minute breaks. But when it's summertime, they can have a water break. These men have been fasting for 12 plus hours. Yeah, let them break their fast. What did Pep say? Let everyone, it's a fair game, you know what I mean?
And one thing that I don't like about that is all you just get that.
It's just foolish fan behavior. People will say it's a small section or whatever, but it felt very loud. I can't lie. I was just like, yo, what's going on here?
It's
where the world is at the moment, man.
The world's messed up. Man. The world's messed up. So
where the world is.
Big duddery, but big up to everyone.
They were actually going to be my duds.
But big up to everyone that's refuting that and being like, this is wrong and calling out, because that stuff's like, no, you can't let that run. There was
Liverpool
5-2. Virgil getting another goal.
Ekitike.
You
were saying you want to talk about Ekitike?
Bro, how many times?
Yeah, you want to talk about Ekitike this week?
Mute, bro.
Yeah, you want to talk about
Ekitike this week? What about him?
Did you see the performance?
Yeah, good goal. What do you mean? What, player of the year?
See the little assist?
What, player of the year?
Candidate.
No, he's not a candidate. He's not a candidate. It was a good point. Not player of the year candidate.
I just said talk about the performance and he wants to take
we're good.
Is Semenyo a candidate?
What, for player of the year?
Yeah.
I mean, he's doing it for 2 clubs. Yeah,
the Bournemouth campaign before he left, kept him there, and now he's spearheading.
Yeah, he's not going to win it, but he'd be probably in the final 8.
This is the whole reason why I put Ekitike forward is there are no clear candidates.
No, but
this year they're talking about Declan Rice.
90 Boy says, if you're City, would you accept 75 million for Foden today?
Were we just talking about the trust in Foden is gone, right?
Last week we spoke on
0 minutes. Zero.
Bro, we spoke on this last week. I said, at what point does Foden start to consider his future?
No, but
for himself?
If you're City, would you accept 75 million for Foden today?
But the thing is, it's 75 gross. It's a home. It's a you built it. So it's not like it's 75 gross.
No, but I remember the varying. What changed it was the fact that Pep could leave this summer. New manager could come in and give him that new
life
impetus, if you like. But I do think if Foden doesn't make the World Cup squad, for example,
he has to
genuinely sit down and say, "All right, I've done I've seen it all, won it all, and done it.
Yeah.
City. Is it time for a new chapter?
The thing is, I don't know what his contract situation is,
Championship.
But when you look at, for instance, Jack Grealish, with Jack Grealish was put for 100 mil. No one's signing you for the value you can get, so you have to go out on loan. Are we saying that Foden's gonna have to go out on loan because no one's gonna meet? But who's gonna meet the market value of what Foden when we sell Foden for?
If you're saying if Foden's on the market, I think teams will be in for him.
You think Mastantuano's gonna hold that right wing at Madrid?
No, I don't know if Madrid will go for him. I don't know.
Madrid will come in for Foden.
If Foden's available, I think Chelsea will be in for him.
I think Chelsea will 100% be in.
Teams will be in for him.
I think if Madrid are smart, Madrid will go in for him.
If he wants to make some noise over and
Vinny, Mbappe, good time.
If he wants to make some noise over on the red side,
but for the value,
I'll consider
the
it.
market value you need to get for him though.
What do you think it will be? 60 minutes, 70, 75 mil, 70 mil?
It's got to be 70 to 100.
It's got to be north of 70.